Hello guys, welcome to Bubble Foods. Today we'll be looking at chicken shawarma. But before we proceed, let's take a look at the health benefits of the recipe. Right now we have to trim some excess fat I have around my meat, all those white things around it. I have to trim as much as I can lay my hands upon. I don't want too much fat in my meat, my chicken I mean to say. I don't want too much fat in it. After trimming it all off, the next thing is to lay it flat while I sprinkle the marinating ingredients on it. The first one I'll be using will be my garlic powder. I'll be using half tablespoon of the garlic powder. I have to sprinkle it evenly on it. The next one will be my onion powder. That will be 1 teaspoon of the onion powder. I'll sprinkle it as well. I'll sprinkle it gently on it. 1 teaspoon of the onion powder, followed by my cayenne pepper. I have to ensure it is evenly distributed. I will sprinkle the cayenne pepper, half teaspoon of it, followed by 1 teaspoon of my Maggi powder. My powdered Maggi, I will sprinkle it on it, and 1/8 of salt. After doing that, I will use my hand to massage it into the meat gently before putting it in the fridge and leaving it for at least 2 hours to marinate. Sometimes when I have luxury of time, I leave it overnight in the fridge, but you can leave it for 2 hours to marinate. After that, I get my fry pan ready to fry. It must not be too burnt. I don't want it to get burnt, so all I do is to use a spray bottle to spray my oil into the fry pan while I place the meat on it and gently turn it. I want it deep well done. I want it to be well done, but I don't want it to be burnt fry. I don't want burnt fry. So I'll flip it over at interval because I don't want it to get burnt, but I want it deep done. I want it deep done. So I'll use my tongue to move it gently around in the fry pan and flip it over as I move. I'll keep doing that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our channel, Bubble Foods. I have to fry it for a few minutes, but you have to be very careful while frying it. Don't leave it there to do any other thing because the meat could get burnt without you knowing. So you keep frying it. You keep frying it. You see the color is changing. That is how you will know that the chicken is ready. You see, it's changing to a slightly golden color. It's changing from the brownish color to a slightly golden color. You could even use that tongue to pierce it to be sure it is fully done. So once it is done, you take it off the fry pan and start shredding. You start shredding it on your chopping board, making use of 2 forks. I'm sure every one of us always have fork in the house, so it's easier with that. But if you have the meatloaf, you can make use of the meatloaf to shred it. But nevertheless, the fork also does the job excellently well, so you have nothing to lose. So you keep shredding it to your desired size. If you want it very tiny, you want it not so tiny, you want it big, just to your taste. You shred it to your taste. So you keep shredding everything. You shred the chicken breast. Once you are done shredding it now, there could still be some sauce on that chopping board. You just mix it together. You keep mixing it together that way. So you ensure that you don't lose any of the sauce. The next thing is for me to also debone my catfish. I make use of catfish, the smoked catfish right now. I make use of it sometimes while making my shawarma. It depends on your preference. I just decided to add this catfish this time around while making the shawarma, and trust me, the outcome was explicit. So you have to debone it, remove all the bones because of kids. I also like to remove the black back, the skin. I mean the skin of the fish now. But if you like the skin of the fish, you could as well leave it. I decided to remove mine, and I ensure that I don't miss any bone in the fish. Here's my chicken breast, and here's my fish. The next thing are the sauce: the mustard, the yellow mustard, the mayonnaise, the chili sauce, sweet and chili sauce, the organic cayenne pepper, and the ketchup. In a mixing cup, I'll be adding 1/3 spoon of mayonnaise, and I will ensure I scoop everything out of the measuring cup. Then I will add 3 tablespoons of ketchup. Scoop everything out of the measuring spoon, and 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of yellow mustard, and we also add 1.5 tablespoon of sweet and chili sauce, the sweet and chili sauce or sweet and chili pepper. I'll be using that. Then the last thing will be my extracted lemon. If you have lemon at home, just squeeze it out and sieve it. That will be 1 teaspoon of the lemon. You can make it 1.5 teaspoon depending on you. It's either you use 1 teaspoon or 1.5 teaspoon depending on how you want the lemon in it. But I make use of 1.5 teaspoon of lemon. You mix everything together. Mix it gently. Ensure everything is well mixed before you move to the next stage. You keep mixing until everything is evenly distributed in the mixing cup. So once you're done mixing it, the next thing is to get my chopped vegetables. That's the purple cabbage, carrots, and the white cabbage. Now that I have that, the next thing is to get all my ingredients together, and I start the making of the chicken shawarma. That's my vegetable, my chicken breast, the fish, and the last thing there, my sauce mixture. So the next thing is to get the shawarma wrap, the shawarma bread. You can make use of tortilla if you have tortilla. The best thing is just to get your desired shawarma bread. So you lay it flat on your chopping board and you grease it with your sauce. That's the first thing to do. Grease a little portion of it with your sauce. After doing that, use your tongue to pick your chicken breast, the desired quantity you want. You put it on top of that sauce. Don't forget, it has to be on top of the sauce. Then I had my fish. Just a little portion of the fish, it will be enough. You had little portion of the fish. Then the last thing will be my vegetable before adding another sauce. I spread the vegetable on top of everything. After which I will add the sauce mixture again. That's the last thing now before wrapping it. I've had here the sauce on it. I want everything juicy. I want it juicy when I'm done. So I had that. Then I fold it at 2 ends. You fold it gently at the 2 ends. Then I start wrapping it. Ensure that you fold those 2 ends. Even as you move, you have to keep folding it. So I keep wrapping it till I get to the last end. So when you get to that tip end, you could decide to add a little sauce before you do your final folding, or you could decide to leave it out that way and get toothpick. So with the help of your toothpick, you inch it at the 3 ends, either at both ends, or you can also inch it at the middle. But the major thing is for you to inch it at the 2 ends. So now that you're done wrapping it, you set it aside. Get another shawarma wrap. You start the process all over again. You get your sauce. You grease a little tip of it. Yeah. You grease it. After greasing it, you add your chicken breast. You add the chicken breast first. Don't forget the chicken breast. Then the fish. Add the fish. The next after the fish is the vegetable. You have the vegetable. Then you start folding
After, you must have added your sauce. After the vegetable, you add the sauce because you want it juicy, you don't want it dry. You add the sauce and you start folding it. Don't forget that you want your shawarma to be as juicy as possible while eating it, so you want to add enough sauce in it, but make sure that the sauce is not too much. It shouldn't be too much. Let it start dripping out while eating. So now that you're done adding the sauce, don't forget the two edges. You fold it together, then you start wrapping. Just wrap it gently. This particular part requires extra care, so you fold it gently as you move. You ensure that you're conscious of the two edges till you get to the last tip. It's time for you to get your toothpick to inch the two edges. Just to clip the two edges. You set aside and get your hair fryer. If you have a griller at home, you can make use of your griller or your oven. But for this purpose, I'll be using air fryer. I'll leave it in air fryer for less than 5 minutes. I'll flip it over. Don't forget, it shouldn't be more than 5 minutes unless you have a burnt shawarma. Now I'll put one shawarma at a time inside my air fryer, and I'll do that for 3 to 5 minutes. Now I have to put it one after the other, and now our shawarma is ready to be eaten. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on our channel. Until next time, Bubble Foods.